You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
So by the end of this video, 2 things are going to be absolutely certain to you, or I'd say 99% certain in the Bieber case. 1, this is verification 99% that Justin Bieber is the A-list celebrity in the Diddy video that everybody's been talking about. We're talking about 3 separate news stories that when you look at them all together, it's over, okay? You have the same source in one story talking about the A-list celebrity who is the victim on a tape with Diddy, who is terrified about it coming out. Then you have another source talking about Bieber's failing marriage, saying the exact same thing, exactly the same things, except it's about Bieber potentially getting divorced from his wife. Then you have a reference to Usher's involvement in this, and then a story about Bieber and Usher that just came out. And when you look at them together, there's no question. It's Bieber on that tape.
For years, the internet treated these clips like harmless celebrity moments. A teenage superstar standing beside one of the most powerful men in entertainment. Luxury cars, private mansions, exclusive parties, and jokes people thought were funny at the time. But now, after lawsuits, federal investigations, raids, and shocking allegations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs, those exact same clips are being watched through a completely different lens. Because suddenly, people aren't laughing anymore. They're analyzing, replaying, slowing footage down, and asking one disturbing question: how much was happening in plain sight? At the center of the story is Diddy, a man who spent decades building one of the most powerful empires in music. But unexpectedly, another name keeps resurfacing beside him: Justin Bieber. Not because Justin publicly accused Diddy, he didn't, and that's important, but because the public is now revisiting old footage of Bieber as a teenager and wondering whether Hollywood ignored warning signs for years. And then came 50 Cent. For nearly 2 decades, 50 publicly mocked Diddy, sometimes joking, sometimes serious, sometimes sounding paranoid. But after the raids, after the lawsuits, and after his new documentary began pulling old stories back into the spotlight, people started hearing him differently. Because now, what once sounded like trolling started sounding like warnings.
That's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody going to come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter, dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, Let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy. And
The reason these clips exploded again is because context changes everything. Years ago, people saw a famous rapper spending time with a teenage artist. Now, after everything surrounding Diddy, the public sees power, influence, access, and a child star surrounded by adults controlling an empire worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And that changes the emotional weight of every interaction. Because fame protects celebrities from normal rules. Hollywood isn't normal. The people at the top don't live normal lives. And child stars often grow up inside systems designed to make money from them before they're emotionally ready to survive them. Justin Bieber became one of the most famous people on earth before he was old enough to drive, before he understood contracts, before he understood manipulation, before he understood what powerful people were capable of. That's what makes this story feel darker today. Not one clip, not one interview, but the feeling that people are watching an entire industry failure unfold backwards in real time.
I heard that that's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him. And him doing some things with some other people. So it's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing. And I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they're really true. Because if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy. And they're gonna have to bring that to forefront because the prosecutor's gonna want those tapes. And they're gonna do whatever they have to do legally to get those tapes. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So we just better hope for his sake.
This is one of those clips people keep.
And he's not none of the names that I said? Probably so. But then they say he was young too?
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had a tape with another man, did that catch you by surprise or no?
Well, all this shit is by surprise to me. A lot of this shit is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew Puff, I knew Puff Daddy, I knew Diddy before he was Love and Brother Love and back to Diddy. So, no, but the diddler, he's the diddler now. A lot of it's surprising, but it's not unheard of. Because you hear of all kinds of shit, and whether it registered with you or you internalize it or something like that, that's a whole nother story. But a lot of this stuff is crazy. But this is the world that we live in now, man. That these
One reason this story became impossible to ignore is because 50 Cent never stopped talking. Long before federal agents raided Diddy's homes, 50 was publicly mocking him online. Sometimes it looked personal, sometimes it looked strategic. But after the lawsuits, his comments suddenly gained a different kind of attention. Because people started asking, why was 50 so confident for so long? And his documentary changed everything. Because documentaries do something gossip pages can't. They organize chaos into narrative. Scouted clips become timelines. Old interviews become evidence of patterns. And isolated rumors suddenly feel connected. That's exactly what happened here. The documentary didn't just focus on Diddy. It focused on the environment around him, the culture, the silence, the access, the fear. And once Justin Bieber's name entered that environment, the story became emotionally impossible for the internet to ignore.
Did you see what Justin Bieber posted? There was like a thermal camera on him. It was a random video of him eating pizza, dog.
On his Instagram?
Yeah, just randomly. He posted that Bieber Diddy pizza. And you know what the pizza's meant for, you know what I mean?
We don't even talk about that.
Yeah. Everyone knows now what it means.
Now we know we gonna have a grand pizza party tonight, right? Oh, it's a pizza party? Where's the pizza? You the pizza. It's you, Mom.
What if he's trying to say to look at the thermal camera? Because what if there's certain cameras that can see other things that the regular footage won't?
Yo, you shine a black light in Diddy's house. Oh my God, imagine the shit that you find.
And yeah,
there.
what if it like leads you to another trail into the crib that you even know was there because it's under a black light?
That would be crazy tech.
There's an AI video of Diddy and it says,
An attorney revealed that freak-off tapes filmed at Diddy's Atlanta home are being shopped around Hollywood, one of them featuring Justin Bieber and Jaden Smith being used by Will Smith and Diddy at the same time. This bombshell comes as these tapes involve other celebrities like Ellen DeGeneres and Jennifer Lopez. This has the potential to end over 100 careers.
Justin Bieber never publicly accused Diddy of abuse. That must remain clear. But Justin has publicly spoken about the damage fame caused him, about depression, anxiety, isolation, drug abuse, loss of control. And many fans believe one interview revealed more than he intended. When Bieber became emotional discussing Billie Eilish, he sounded less like a celebrity and more like someone remembering what it felt like to grow up inside the machine. That moment changed how millions of people saw him. Not just as a pop star, but as someone who may have experienced the darker side of celebrity culture at an extremely young age. And once people started connecting that emotion to old footage involving Diddy, the internet conversation exploded.
I feel bad for Justin Bieber right now. I feel like he gave us so many signs and we missed all of them. Have you seen what fans have been piecing together about the Yummy music video?
Wait, because I've always wanted to know what Yummy means because everyone's always hinted at like, oh, there's a deeper meaning.
Now that this P. Diddy scandal has come out, you kind of see the relation between the lyrics and the music video.
Oh no, I don't know if I'm ready.
So if you watch the music video, you see the first scene, it's like a band on stage and everyone in the band is very young. Then Justin Bieber sits down at a table and he's having a good time. There's a sandwich in front of him and you can't see what's inside the sandwich. It's facing him, okay, but it's like face up. Everyone's eating. He's with all these like wealthy, famous, powerful people.
Which is simulating a party.
Exactly. So then in the middle of the music video, the sandwich turns around and you can see what's inside it. And it's a cherry, which symbolizes purity, youth, virginity, etc. And then at that point in the music video, Justin starts to kind of be like grossed out and the waiters are bringing him all this gross food and like weird shit. And everyone at the table is eating all the weird shit. And Justin's kind of like, yo, like this is not my vibe.
Kind of like Katniss in District 1 for the first time.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then there's a little girl who's like playing an instrument in the band at the beginning of the music video and she's wearing this all red suit. At the end of the music video, the red suit is taken off and it's like laid over a chair and the music video ends and it's a plate and it's 14-year-old Justin Bieber, a photo of him, and it says Yummy under it.
Well, I just wanted to be a good example and it was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second. I just want to protect her, you know? I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody.
The Usher connection makes the story even more unsettling, because before Justin Bieber, there was another young artist entering Diddy's world, Usher. And years later, Usher became Bieber's mentor. Again, that does not prove criminal behavior, but it creates the appearance of a cycle. Young stars being introduced into the same powerful industry circles generation after generation. That is why this story stopped feeling like random scandal content online and started feeling systemic. Because now people aren't only questioning Diddy, they're questioning the industry itself. How many people saw uncomfortable things and stayed silent because careers depended on silence? How many executives, managers, labels, media companies, and celebrities protected the machine because the machine was profitable?
Being aware of like, okay, like I'm just a guy. I can be really impatient, really insensitive. I can own that and just forgive myself because God forgives me. He's given me another chance. He's not like, get your shit together. He's like, oh, son, let's go. We got this. Let's go. And that just makes me like actually love God and not look at him as like this mean guy who just wants me to follow all these rules and I can never do all the rules right and I'm always gonna keep failing. It's like, that's what I think a lot of people think God is. It's just like this, you know, football coach or basketball coach who's just like, get it right. Why aren't you getting it right? Of vulnerability. And so I think I was just in a place of just trusting everyone and, you know, thinking everyone was on my side and eventually getting burned. And yeah, it's just tough, man. And after a while, I started putting up walls and boundaries. And for a while, I kind of shut everybody out. And then I kind of lost my own personality and lost my charismaticness because I just didn't trust anyone. And then finally I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let them win. I'm gonna give them some of me and learn how to put up a wall without closing myself off completely.
And once federal agents entered the stage, everything changed. Because suddenly, old clips stopped looking nostalgic and started looking like evidence. Not legal evidence, but cultural evidence. The kind that makes the public ask, how did we all ignore this for so long? And that is exactly the question 50 Cent's documentary wants people to keep asking.
Bieber. This kid comes up to you. He's not Justin Bieber yet. He's just some kid. And he says, I want to sing for you.
It was at the studio of Jermaine Dupri's. I said, you know, why don't you set up a meeting between me and your manager? I'd love to meet with you and do this in a formal setting. I'm late for an appointment with Jermaine Dupri.
Right.
And I don't want to keep him waiting. Let's just do this the right way.
And then you have him come to audition for you, right?
Actually, there were a few people. My wife at the time.
Right.
It also was Perry Reed, L.A. Reid's first wife.
So you were all sitting in a room somewhere.
We were in a room.
Yeah.
And I showed her the video. And Perry says, are you crazy? You better get down there and meet this kid right now. He's amazing.
When all these dick pics come out and all this stuff with Bieber's big penis, are you the mastermind behind that? Say, listen, show off your big penis and people will come to those concerts. Or are you sitting there?
Is that the kind of manager he's doing?
Usher, are you sitting down with him and saying, yeah, show your cock, or leave it in your pants? I mean, do you sit him down and say, look, part of this is PR,
Hey,
man.
by the way, he does have a brain of his own.
Yeah, but were you shocked at the size of his penis?
Hey, listen, he has a mind of his own. What he chose to do with his penis is his prerogative. He's managing that aspect of his life.
But Usher, is somebody...
I have nothing to do with Justin Bieber's.
As soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, come get the front shot of this.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right,
no,
16.
You're not ready.
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Jess.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion?
Yeah.
So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go buck full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about.
Like, we need Usher. No, we do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him. Because what I'm realizing is that he's gonna fake the funk into the victim, man. He's just gonna keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, you know, like with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you gotta pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away, right? When the baby's used to sucking on the pacifier. That motherfucker gonna keep sucking on that shit until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's gonna scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, you know, learn how to live without it. He been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time. It's time for him to learn how to make this thing happen without the devil's dick in his mouth or ass.
You don't think if he sued, he'll just Lil Woody the situation and I don't recall? I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They not seeing the victim. They not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Usher was just 13